Hello everyone, welcome to Current Affairs MCQs program. Let's begin with previous day's practice question. Question was regarding Universal Service Obligation Fund. Consider the following statements. 1. It ensures that there is universal non-discriminatory access to quality ICT, that is information and communications technology services at economically efficient prices to people in rural and remote areas. 2. It is a non-lapsable fund, that is the unspent amount under a targeted financial year does not lapse and is accrued for next year's spending. 3. It has been renamed as Digital Bharat Nidhi in the Telecommunication Bill 2023. Which of the statements given above is or are not correct? Only 1, only 2, only 3 or none? The correct answer is option D, none. USOF ensures that there is universal non-discriminatory access to quality ICT services at economically efficient prices to people in rural and remote areas. Hence, statement 1 is correct. It was created under the Ministry of Communications in 2002. It is a non-lapsable fund, that is the unspent amount under a targeted financial year does not lapse and is accrued for next year's spending. Hence, statement 2 is correct. All credits to this fund require parliamentary approval and it has statutory support under Indian Telegraph Amendment Act 2003. The Telecommunications Bill 2023 retains this provision, renames the fund as Digital Bharat Nidhi and also allows its use for research and development. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Now, let's begin today's session. First question is, India Skills Report 2024 is released or submitted by which of the following? All India Council for Technical Education and VBOX, Pratham, Niti Aayog or Ministry of Education? The correct answer is option A, All India Council for Technical Education, that is AICTE and VBOX. Recently, VBOX in association with various agencies including All India Council for Technical Education, Confederation of Indian Industry and Association of Indian Universities has published India Skills Report 2024, highlighting India's skill landscape and the impact of AI, that is artificial intelligence, on the workforce. The theme of the report is Impact of AI on the Future of Work, Skilling and Mobility. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is, which of the following statements about nematocysts is not correct? They are produced by cells called cnidocytes. They are present in all members of the phylum Cnidaria. They have different types such as isorhizas, uretales and birhopallids. They are used for locomotion and digestion by cnidarians. The correct answer is option D. They are used for locomotion and digestion by cnidarians. Nematocysts are specialized cells found in cnidarians, which includes jellyfish, corals, sea anemones and hydras that serve as potent weapons for hunting prey and defending against predators. Each nematocyst contains a capsule with a coiled, thread-like tubule and toxins capable of rapid ejection with an acceleration surpassing that of a bullet. They have different types such as isorhizas, uretales and birhopalloids. Cnidarians contain cnidocytes which release nematocysts when triggered by potential prey. Nematocyst pierce prey's outer layer or inject toxins into its body. Toxins in nematocyst have paralytic, that is paralysis, or cytolytic, that is destroying cells, effects on the prey. Cnidarians use a combination of toxins for predatory or defensive purposes. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Next question is regarding the particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Consider the following statements. 1. The Debahar Commission 1973 established primitive tribal groups as a distinct category comprising tribal communities that exhibit comparatively lower levels of development. 2. Among the 75 listed PVTGs, the highest number are found in Nagaland. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2 or neither 1 nor 2? The correct answer is option A, 1 only. In India, tribal population makes up for 8.6% of the total population. PVTGs are more vulnerable among the tribal groups. Due to this factor, more developed and assertive tribal groups take a major chunk of the tribal development funds, because of which PVTGs need more funds directed for their development. In 1973, the Debhar Commission created primitive tribal groups as a separate category who are less developed among the tribal groups. In 2006, the Government of India renamed the PTGs as PVTGs. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Among the 75 listed PVTGs, the highest number are found in Odisha. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements. 1. Tribunals were not part of the original constitution. 2. Under Article 323B, both the Parliament and the state legislators are authorized to provide for the establishment of tribunals. 3. A hierarchy of tribunals can be created under Article 323A. How many of the above statements is or are not correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3 or none? The correct answer is option A, only 1. A tribunal is a quasi-judicial institution that is set up to deal with problems such as resolving administrative or tax-related disputes. Tribunals were not part of the original constitution. It was incorporated in the Indian Constitution by 42nd Amendment Act 1976. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Under Article 323B, the Parliament and the state legislators are authorized to provide for the establishment of tribunals for the adjudication of disputes relating to the following matters: taxation, foreign exchange, import and export, industrial and labor, land reforms, ceiling on urban property, elections to Parliament and state legislators, foodstuff, rent and tenancy rights. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Under Article 323A, only one tribunal for the centre and one for each state or 2 or more states may be established. There is no question of the hierarchy of tribunals, whereas under Article 323B, a hierarchy of tribunals may be created. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding scheme for remission of duties and taxes on exported products. 1. RoDTEP covers taxes, duties and levies at the central, state and local levels which are not refunded through any other existing mechanisms. 2. The RoDTEP committee operates within the Department of Revenue. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? The correct answer is option C, both 1 and 2. That is, both the statements are correct. The Union government is planning to revive tax remission benefits on sugar exports which were placed in the restricted category in the mid-2022. The remission of duties and taxes on export products, that is RoDTEP scheme, which was launched in January 2021, aims to provide a mechanism for reimbursement of taxes, duties and levies that are incurred by the export entities in the process of manufacture and distribution of exported products. RoDTEP covers taxes, duties and levies at the central, state and local levels which are not refunded through any other existing mechanisms. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The RoDTEP committee operates within the Department of Revenue, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Hence, statement 2 is also correct. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. Next question is regarding the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. Consider the following statements. 1. It was established under the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India Act 1997. 2. It consists of a chairperson and not more than 2 whole-time members and not more than 2 part-time members. 3. The recommendations of the TRI are binding upon the central government. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 and 2 only, 2 only, 3 only, or 1, 2 and 3? The correct answer is option A, 1 and 2 only. The Telecom Regulatory Authority of India was established with effect from 20th February 1997 by the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India Act 1997. Hence, statement 1 is correct. TRI consists of a chairperson and not more than 2 whole-time members and not more than 2 part-time members. Hence, statement 2 is correct. It advises the government on policy matters and licensing issues. The recommendations of the TRI are not binding upon the central government. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is regarding the Sahitya Akademi Awards. Consider the following statements. 1. Established in 1954, it is a literary honor that is conferred annually by Sahitya Akademi, India's National Academy of Letters. 2. The awards are conferred to authors of Indian nationality only. 3. It is the highest literary honor by the Government of India. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 and 2 only, 2 only, 3 only, or 1, 2 and 3? The correct answer is option A, 1 and 2 only. Sahitya Akademi Award, established in 1954, is a literary honor that is conferred annually by Sahitya Akademi, India's National Academy of Letters. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Akademi gives 24 awards annually to literary works in the languages it has recognized and an equal number of awards to literary translations from and into the languages of India. The author must be of Indian nationality. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The Sahitya Akademi Award is the second highest literary honor by the Government of India after the Gyanpith Award. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is regarding the Artemis Accords. Consider the following statements. 1. Artemis Accords was established by the US State Department and NASA with 7 other founding members. 2. India is one of the founding members of it. 3. It builds upon the foundation of the Outer Space Treaty of 1967. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 and 2 only, 1 and 3 only, 2 only, or 1, 2 and 3? The correct answer is option B, 1 and 3 only. Artemis Accords was established by the US State Department and NASA with 7 other founding members. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The founding members are Australia, Canada, Italy, Japan, Luxembourg, the United Arab Emirates, and the United Kingdom in 2020 for setting common principles to govern civil exploration and use of outer space, the moon, Mars, comets, and asteroids for peaceful purposes. India is not a founding member. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. It builds upon the foundation of the Outer Space Treaty of 1967. Hence, statement 3 is correct. The Outer Space Treaty, a multilateral pact under the United Nations, serves as the foundation for international space law. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Next question is regarding the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace, Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal, that is PoSH Act 2013. Consider the following statements. 1. It is a narrow law as it defines sexual harassment to include unwelcome acts such as physical contact only. 2. It was enacted against the backdrop of Vishakha guidelines. 3. Under the Act, employers are required to constitute an internal complaint committee at each workplace with 10 or more employees to receive and address complaints of sexual harassment. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 and 2 only, 2 only, 2 and 3 only, or 1, 2 and 3? The correct answer is option C, 2 and 3 only. The PoSH Act defines sexual harassment to include unwelcome acts such as physical contact and sexual advances, a demand or request of sexual favors, making sexually colored remarks, showing pornography, and any other unwelcome physical, verbal, or non-verbal conduct of a sexual nature. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The Supreme Court, in a landmark judgment in the Vishakha and others versus State of Rajasthan 1997 case, gave Vishakha guidelines. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Employers are required to constitute an ICC at each workplace with 10 or more employees to receive and address complaints of sexual harassment. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. Last question is regarding the CEC and other ECs appointment conditions of service and term of office bill 2023. Consider the following statements. 1. The bill replaces the Election Commission Conditions of Service of Election Commissioners and Transaction of Business Act 1991. 2. It is in line with the direction from the Supreme Court of India in the D.K. Basu case. 3. The selection committee under this act will consist of the PM, the Chief Justice of India, and the leader of opposition, leader of the largest opposition party in Lok Sabha. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 and 2 only, 1 only, 2 only, or 1, 2 and 3? The correct answer is option A, 1 only. The Rajya Sabha recently approved the Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners' appointment conditions of service and term of office bill 2023, which outlines the procedures for appointing the Chief Election Commissioner and election commissioners. The bill replaces the Election Commission Conditions of Service of Election Commissioners and Transaction of Business Act 1991. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The legislation aims to bring transparency to the appointment process, responding to a directive from the Supreme Court of India in the Anup Baranwal versus Union of India case 2023. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. The selection committee will consist of the Prime Minister, a Union Cabinet Minister, and the Leader of Opposition, leader of the largest opposition party in Lok Sabha. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Now it's time for the practice question. Consider the following statements. 1. Recently, India won the Vice President's position on the Executive Board of the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. 2. India is part of the 12-member Asia-Pacific Group of UNESCO. 3. The Ministry of Culture is the nodal ministry for cooperation with the activities of UNESCO. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3 or none? Send the answer of this question in the comment section. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching.